I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go, the only thing that I know. You were my gravity, but now I have to leave. I will let you go. Why do you feel that I want? What do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity. I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to NNSCRA TV's coverage of qualifying for race number 10 of Season 7 of the NNSCRA Duracell Next Gen Cup Series. It's time for our second Super Speedway on the season. Of course, the first one was the season opening Daytona 500, but we are here for the second season in a row at Coke Zero Super Speedway. 2 rounds of qualifying. Round 1 will have 2 separate groups. Total of 44 drivers looking to qualify into today's race. 42 will make the show, 2 will be going home. Fastest 10, that being the fastest 5 of each round, will go on to fight for the pole position in the second and final round. Cole Deaver, former pole sitter on the season. A couple of weeks ago at Mid-Ohio, heading out onto the racetrack in the Wheaties Goodwrench Chevrolet. It's going to be all about the draft here in qualifying to get yourself good starting track position and for the 4 non-charter go-or-go-home drivers to make it into the field. Only one of the drivers will be in this first round of qualifying. The other 3 will be in the second group. Matthew Rodriguez, Kyler Sustre, former winners on the season, your regular week after week non-charter drivers, and looking to make the show this week, Mike Tellier. We haven't seen him since he qualified and ran extremely well in the Daytona 500. And former Daytona 500 winner Trey Wright, also going to try and make the show here today for Blue Oval Automotive. Mike Tellier, of course, out of Bishop Family Racing. Cole Deaver, 15th in overall points. Still looking for his first top 5 on the season. Has 3 top 10s. Has Mitchell Collins behind him in the 33. Mitchell Collins with a really good run last week. Moved up 8 spots in the point standings at Texas. Trying to make his way up into the top 15. Out of the Michael Norman Motorsports stables. Very good restrictor plate organization. Always bring fast race cars to the super speedways. A couple of Fords working together here, realizing, hey, if we work together, we got a better chance of making it into the second round of qualifying. It's Dylan Young, former winner from the season, sporting the Coca-Cola colors on his number 2. Reese Banks right behind him in the 44. Former Super Speedway winner from last season at Talladega as a rookie. Dylan Young is 12th in overall points. Reese Banks is 11th. So both right around each other. You'll see the Soda Wars here today at Coke Zero Super Speedway. We'll see the Duracell Ultra Light Series drivers later on today at Pepsi Superdome. This is kind of the Soda Wars week. There are 8 Coca-Cola Racing family of drivers here in the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series. Dylan Young, Daniel Voiles, Casey Hoyt, Connor Breton, last week's winner, Jessica Shelton, RJ Bishop, Charles Sanford, and Kyle Matthews, and they're all representing their Coca-Cola brand products. Countering that are 3 Pepsi-related sponsored drivers, Matt McIntyre, Ryan Butcher, and Ryan Brommer. We'll see them during the course of the session. As you can see, a little over 10 minutes remaining here. Times will start scrolling across the top of your screen. We saw Dylan Young and Reese Banks working together. Subsequently, they are 1 and 2. Dylan Poteet and Austin LaPlante trying to get themselves hooked up here. A couple of Chevrolets. Dylan Poteet, 6th in overall points coming into this one. Austin LaPlante cracked the top 10 for the first time this season. He is 9th in overall standings after a great run last week in the Lone Star State. So both these drivers looking to continue on their consistent season. Rob Evans, points leader, along with the Mazda of Anthony McCrory, trying to see what they can do. A couple more drivers up inside the top 10 in points. Rob Evans, 18 points over his nearest competitor as the points leader. Anthony McCrory currently in the 10th position. Lost a couple of spots after a rather lackluster performance last week at Texas. Looking to bounce back, but been a very good start to the year for the move over to Mazda for Anthony McCrory. Keith Batson about to pick up a drafting partner there. Keith Batson coming to this one 21st in points. Free fell through the standings, 5 positions lost, I should say, last week. Right behind him, though, Will Goss on the rise, continues for the rookie winner from North Wilkesboro. He's now 7th in overall point standings coming into this one. 2nd highest driver in the point standings with a victory. Speaking of a driver with a victory, there's one that has 2 of them on the season, Matthew Rodriguez. Now he is the driver that's kind of setting the benchmark for the other 3 go-or-go-home drivers in the upcoming second group. Right now he's 5th on the board at a 54.798. If Matt Rod can make it into the top 5 in qualifying to run for the pole, more than likely he's locked into the show. Reggie Fogelman right now 7th on the board in the 24. Going to get a nice tow off the back of the 11. Getting pushed by the 99 of Levi McIntyre. This could potentially be a top-of-the-board lap for Reggie Fogelman. Maybe for Levi McIntyre. Let's see who gets it, if anybody challenges here. Matthew Rodriguez will probably get a big tow as well, as teammates Casey Hoyt, Jesse Turner are at the top of the running order. Teammates out of Lake Effect Autosport. Let's see. Does the 24 have anything for it? It needs to be at a 54.070. No, not quite. 0.2 off. Did anybody beat a 0.70? No, they did not. Now, Matt Rod, 8th in the point standings coming to this one. Reggie Fogelman, 14th. He's been slowly working his way up steadily through the standings, looking to crack into the top 10. And Levi McIntyre, former winner on the season, 20th in points. He's just kind of hovered, has Levi, after getting that victory at Pocono. Here's the group that's got the top of the board, top 3. James Qualls, 3rd currently on the speed charts. Jesse Turner right behind him. And you see Casey Hoyt, 3rd in points. Former winner on the season. Former points leader. Right there at the rear of it. James Qualls coming into this one 5th in overall points. Jesse Turner 2nd in points, as we mentioned. 18 points out of the points lead. Laura Chung right now 6th on the board. And as soon as I say that, top of the board for the 77 of Laura Chung. Laura Chung looking for back-to-back poles. Had the pole position last week at Texas. Did not exactly aid her to the best of finishes. Did pick up some spots in standings, though. 22nd, in points coming to this one. Up 4 positions from a couple of weeks ago. And right now, second fastest on the board is the Carvana Chevrolet of Cody Lamas. Cody is 13th in overall standings coming into this one. Carson Gum, Michael Norman, Destin Bolin all working together here. Carson 19th in points. Michael Norman just a little bit better than him, 18th in overall points. And Destin Bolin currently in 4th in overall standings. Remember, this was around the time of the season last year as a rookie that he got hot and picked up 3 victories right around the All-Star race break, just before and just after. And he gained 3 spots in the standings after last week's race at Texas. He's 15th on the board right now. Doesn't look like at the moment he will make it into the Fast 5, but there's still plenty of session left, still over 6 minutes, as Cody Lamas just went fastest. 53.904 for Cody Lamas, beating the 916 laid down by Laura Chung. There's another Coca-Cola cars. RJ Bishop, the Monster Energy Ford GT500. He's 16th on the board right now. Cole Deaver and Mitchell Collins, who were two of the first onto the racetrack right there. 15th for Collins, 13th for Deaver as things currently stand. Big group right here, trying to challenge potentially for a spot inside the Fast 5. Anthony McCurry is just on the outside looking in, 6th. 54.039 to now Jesse Turner's 53.956 as James Qualls was 5th and just jumped to the top of the board at a 53.782. I don't know if anybody's going to top that here in Group 1. Matthew Rodriguez right now P8, which means he would not advance into the Fast 5, so he would have to rely on his lap time to make it into the show. Right now, 54.241 is what Mike Tellier, Trey Wright, and Kyle Sustre would have to try and beat in the upcoming second group. And it doesn't look like Matt Rod's getting any faster, so that might be the lap time officially to beat. Let's go back up to that fast group. As you saw a couple of cars coming to pit road there, Carson Gum and Cole Deaver. These 5, this group, are currently your Fast 5. These are going to be the 5 potentially from Group A that are going to run for the pole position in the final round of qualifying. Qualls, Hoyt, Chung, Turner, and Lamas. They're catching a car up here too, a couple of cars. I think that's McCurry and Fogelman. They're actually catching this second group. This is going to be a flyer of a lap for the 70. Can he beat his own 53.7? Yes, he can. 53.144, and now they're going to get all wadded up. That might have been the lap right there that just iced it for Qualls being the fastest here in Group A. I think that being a bigger pack now, this is going to stifle all of these drivers' momentum. They're not going to be able to lay down nearly as fast lap times as they were just even a lap ago. Man, that is a flyer of a lap for James Qualls. As we got some drivers coming onto pit road here. Oh, gosh! Casey Hoyt just hit the pit wall. Wow. That was an unbelievable hit. Came in too fast. Remember, Casey Hoyt was second on the board. Hopefully, first off, hope he's okay. Secondly, that car was fast, and that means he's going to have to go to a backup. Now, if you haven't tuned into our previous qualifying sessions, if you have to go to a backup car and you are locked into the Fast 5, or the Fast 10 if we only have one group in the first round, you are allowed to use a backup car, and you do not have to go to the rear of the field. But obviously, the backup car is not going to be nearly the same as the primary car. Let's make sure these drivers get onto pit road safely. Yeah, they do. I don't know what Casey Hoyt did differently. Maybe a rookie mistake. It's the first time he's ever been to Coke Zero Super Speedway, but holy cow. You guys have already seen a replay of what happened there to Casey Hoyt, courtesy of the NNSCRA split cam. Didn't think we'd have to use that today, but apparently that's not the case. Right now, Cody Lamas, who I think is on pit road, is the cut line driver. 5th on the chart. I don't think he's going to get challenged. They got the backup car already rolled out for Casey Hoyt. They're trying to give him some laps here so they can have that car set up, because once the red flag waves here and this session is complete, they can't work on the car. Can't make any adjustments, so they're probably trying to put the backup car as close to the specs as they did the primary. That was a scary wreck there for Casey Hoyt. Apparently not shaken up, right back to work here, but gracious me. Destin Bolin leaving pit road. Looks like Anthony McCurry is going to start 11th for tomorrow's race, as he's holding down 6th position right now. Just going to miss out and advancing into the Fast 5. Jesse Turner right now in 4th. Rodriguez still his lap, 54.241. That's got him 8th fastest here in this group. He just needs to beat 2 cars, does Rodriguez, to make it into the show. Carson Gum going to get a little bit of a draft there off the 12. Not going to aid his lap time. He's 11th on the board right now. Michael Norman 13th in the 22. We saw last week how the Michael Norman Motorsports cars just did not seem to have it in qualifying, but they did well enough once the green flag came out in the race. Mitchell Collins obviously showing what he was able to do. Picked up a lot of spots early on and brought it home with a good finish. Well, there is the guy that is going to have the fastest lap here in Group A of round 1, James Qualls. We'll see his teammates Joshua Osborne and Quentin Moore in Group B. See if they've got equally as fast Chevrolets. 53.144 for James Qualls. And a 53.217 for Casey Hoyt. 53.271 for Laura Chung. 53.282 for Jesse Turner. And 53.355 for Cody Lamas. That is about 7/10 quicker than the next driver, 6th place, Anthony McCurry. Our Fast 5 was determined pretty early on in this session, about halfway through. James Qualls still looking for that first victory on the season. He's run that winless streak going all the way back to, I believe, season 3. 3 top 5s, 3 top 10s starting the season, 5th in overall points. Been very consistent, but would love to have that checkered flag. Still waiting for the session to come to a close here. Should be soon. I think they've stopped scoring. There we go. They had stopped scoring lap times. As here's a look at the qualifying laps here from Group A. Qualls, Hoyt, Chung, Turner, and Lamas. They'll run for the pole position for, I believe, 2 of those drivers. Let me double check. Yes, for 2 of those drivers, they'll be looking for their second pole on the season. Casey Hoyt and Laura Chung, former pole sitters this year. And they will look to be the first multiple time pole sitter on the season. As so far, we have gone 9 for 9 in different drivers on the inside of the front row. All right, so Matthew Rodriguez will keep an eye on the lap time he set, see if the other 3 go-homers can beat that to make their way into the show. And we'll be right back after this commercial break for the continuation of qualifying here today from Coke Zero Super Speedway. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed your watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. Group B of round 1, getting ready to have onto the racetrack our remaining 22 drivers. 5 more drivers will move on to the final round of qualifying to join the Fast 5 from Group A. Another 15 minutes on the clock for these drivers. One of our go-home drivers already has set down their lap time, Matthew Rodriguez, at a 54.241. Our 3 remaining go-home drivers will need to beat that in order to make it into the show, or at least one of them will have to beat that. A driver could potentially beat the other 2 here of this group, beat slower than Matthew Rodriguez, and still make it into the show. Looking at Benjamin Miles in the 25. The drivers that you saw in the first group were drivers that are 1st through 22nd in owner points. This is 23rd in owner points. Benjamin Miles heading out onto the racetrack. Benjamin Miles, one top 10 on the season. Looking for that first top 5. It's not been an ideal season for Benjamin Miles, but it has been a far cry better than where he was last season, when he was pretty much in the cellar of the point standings for the majority of it. Miles has shown some good speed in qualifying lately, though, and we'll see what he's able to do here. Former champion Caleb Fogler heading out onto the racetrack. Fogler was 42nd in points. That is dead last of all of the full-time drivers last week at Texas, but really seems to have things turned around. Great run last week. Jumped up 7 spots in the standings, up to 35th in points. Maybe this is the turning point for driver 28. There's his teammate, Jose Mills. Been a very quiet year so far for the most winningest driver in the Duracell Cup Series. 29th in overall points, only 1 top 5 on the season. That also is his only top 10. The 28, the 38, and the 83 are usually the full-time cars that we see here every week. They will have potentially another driver to work with tomorrow if Trey Wright can make his way into the show. Talked about the Coca-Cola cars here at Coke Zero Super Speedway. There's another of them, Jessica Shelton, and the Project Dodge Intrepid. Safe to say that this project has not exactly worked out the way they thought. Shelton is 42nd in points. Mentioned about Fogler being dead last week of the full-time drivers. Now Shelton is last of the full-time drivers. The only other driver she's ahead of in the point standings all only have 1 start on the season. Here's a big group that we could end up seeing some of our Fast 5 lap times laid down in. Nathan Ormond in the 23, Kyler Sustre, Mike Tellier, a couple of the go-home drivers right there, the 4 and the 17. Mentioned about Mike Tellier. Last time we saw him was qualifying for the Daytona 500. He qualified in the Fast 10, and he finished up inside of the top 10. Had a great run there. He finished 5th, I believe, after starting 4th at Daytona. And that Bishop Family Racing Ford Mustang. We'll see if he's able to make it 2 for 2 in getting into the show at Super Speedways. Zach Rogers right behind them in the 6. Rogers is starting to put some good runs together. Had that great top 5 run at Mid-Ohio a couple of weeks ago. Did all right at Texas, gained a spot in the standings. He's 33rd in overall points. And right now he is top of the board in the Ghost Energy Chevrolet. For those wondering, Ghost Energy is neither a Coca-Cola nor a Pepsi product. It's actually owned by Anheuser-Busch, surprisingly enough. But there's the Coke and Pepsi war behind him. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Ford Mustang of Daniel Voiles. 2-time winner last season. This season, 34th in points, though he did gain 4 spots in the standings last week after Texas. Right behind him, Matt McIntyre. Right now he is 8th on the clock in the Pepsi Ford Mustang. Matt McIntyre coming into this one 37th in points. He also gained some spots last week at Texas, up 2 positions from where he was. Keep an eye on the lap times here in just a moment. They'll be scrolling on the top of your screen, as I believe all 22 drivers have now laid down a lap time. Here's another Pepsi Coca-Cola war. Pepsi with Gatorade on Ryan Butcher's Toyota. And Connor Breton with Coca-Cola, the vitamin water sponsorship on his Chevrolet. Last week's winner. Back-to-back seasons where a rookie has gone to victory lane at the Texas Motor Speedway, and Connor Breton becomes the 4th rookie to find victory lane here in Season 4. Casey Hoyt as well as Will Goss and Kyler Sustre, also all finding victory lane. Very similar to what happened last year when we had all those rookies go to victory lane in the beginning of the season. You had Will Hoer and Zachary Fitzwater and Jack Dunnard and Destin Bowen and Rick Johnson all finding victory lane in the first half of the season. Well, we're continuing to trend in that direction. The 4 rookies that have gone to victory lane are all the 4 full-time rookies on the season. The other ones, Mike Tellier, Benjamin Snyder, Ralph Mason, they're not running full-time, so not as much of an opportunity for them to be able to try and find victory lane. But that is crazy that we've already swept all 4 of our full-time rookies going to victory lane, and we are only 9 races into the season. Saw James Qualls was top of the board. There's one of his teammates, Quentin Moore. Right now he's 16th on the board in the Buc-ee's Chevrolet. Quentin Moore 31st in overall points coming into this one. There's a driver looking to make it into the show, and right now he is 2nd on the board, is Trey Wright. Which means at this time, with his lap time of a 53.653, he would be in, and the jury is out on Matthew Rodriguez. Let's see, Rodriguez had a 54.241. Right now, Mike Tellier just beat it. I was going to say he was below that line, and Mike Tellier just beat it at a 53.995. So as things stand right now, Matthew Rodriguez will not make it into the show. Kyler Sustre is in danger of not making it into the show. Trey Wright and Mike Tellier currently would be the 2 go-or-go-home drivers to make it in if things stay the way they are. The only driver that can mix things up would be Kyler Sustre right now. Rodriguez is officially not going to make it. So that means that only one of the Haas racing cars will be represented, that being the 8 of Matt Haas, who right now is 3rd on the board. Ryan Bromert, who is inside, who is the fastest right now. Your 4 right here are actually your fastest 4, along with the Mazda of Nick Gunther in the 55 right behind them. Gunther is 4th on the board right now. Matt Haas coming into this one 24th in the standings. Ryan Brommer 27th, and Nick Gunther 41st. As a couple of teammates working nose to tail here. A couple of the Coca-Cola drivers, Charles Sanford in the Coke Vanilla Chevrolet. Kyle Matthews, the Mellow Yellow Chevrolet. We saw this paint scheme make its debut a couple of weeks ago at Mid-Ohio. And then Joshua Osborne making the pass on both of them. This is 20th, 21st, and 22nd right now at the bottom of the speed charts. Osborne's 38th in points coming into this one. The defending champion Charles Sanford 30th. And Kyle Matthews right now is 39th. Well, here's a big group trying to see what they could do to counter the Fast 5 there. I think a couple of them might have broken in. They did. Nick Gunther has already dropped from 4th down to 11th because Rogers has moved up to 4th and Shelton has moved up into 5th. Daniel Voiles is top of the board right now in the 26. Kyler Sustre in 2nd. Mike Tellier is up to 3rd. Zach Rogers, Jessica Shelton right now, the Fast 5. And all those drivers are in this group as we're going maybe 4 wide here. Little taste of what's to come tomorrow in the 10th race of the season. Got Caleb Vogler and Chris Dollerton, Benjamin Miles. They could have something to say about this. Zachary Fitzwater's right there. Winner from a couple of weeks ago at Mid-Ohio, and then I think he gained like 10 spots in the standings after that victory, and then lost them. Lost all 10 of those positions back last week at Texas after we saw he got involved in a wreck that didn't bring out the caution flag, had to DNF due to his left front damage, and he's 32nd in points again. So right now we've got 2 drivers with victories outside of the top 30 in the point standings. Fitzwater 32nd, Sustre 36th. They would not be eligible for wild cards in the current playoff system. Carlos Sestre second on the board, Mike Tellier third. And that means that all of a sudden Trey Wright is on the outside looking in. The former Daytona 500 winner looks like he is in danger of not making the show. Potentially two former Daytona 500 winners will miss out, because Matthew Rodriguez, of course, won the Daytona 500 this year to open up the season. Some drivers headed for pit road. Hopefully they don't pull a Casey Hoyt. Right now, Jessica Shelton holding on to the final transfer position for the Fast Five here in Group B. 53.482 is what drivers need to beat to advance. Chris Dollerton trying to get a tow there, but he doesn't have a driver behind him. It's kind of what you need. You need a gap between yourself and another car, but you also need someone right behind you. That's how the draft laps are produced, that have these guys up here at the very top of the board. Jose Mills right now is the first car out, as it looks like maybe Sestre and Tellier might be coming to pit road this time. Tellier is. Mills will follow him down. Fitzwater. Ooh, that's a late one for Fogler. And he just hit the pit wall. You cannot pit that late. Late decision, and Fogler is going to be all torn up and be going to a backup car for tomorrow's event. Man. Testing things out, I guess, here, but that's the second driver we've seen take a pound into the pit wall. Casey Hoyt did it back in round one, though we're still going to see him run for the pole in the final round of qualifying. Caleb Fogler, on the other hand, he is currently 16th on the chart, so he won't be running for the pole position. Now the S3 Motorsports cars. Oh, no, 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 no. Whoa! I thought Charles was going to hit it. I thought he was going to hit it. Teammates working together on the track, working together pitting, maybe in preparation for tomorrow. Their other teammate, Jessica Shelton, came down here, so all three of the S3 Motorsports cars all came together. Reeton and Brahmer coming in. I think most drivers have thrown in the towel here, realizing their lap times aren't going to get any faster. Some drivers out here just logging laps, maybe just trying to get a little bit more of a feeling for their race car. Looking at Ryan Butcher, 17th on the chart right now for him. It's like Daniel Voiles, Kyler Sustre, Mike Tellier, Zach Rogers, Jessica Shelton are going to be the ones to run for the pole position here, along with the Fast Five from round one. And I believe, I'm double checking here, none of those five have won a pole yet this season. So we'll have a 40% chance of a repeat pole sitter. Two former pole sitters moving on from the first group. Looks like none moving on here from the second group. And Kyler Sustre is 53.284, and Mike Tellier is 53.426. Going to be enough to lock both of them into the show. It's going to be the second straight start for Mike Tellier, where he will be inside of the top 10. We'll see if it'll be the second straight start where he'll start inside of the top 5. He started 4th in the Daytona 500 earlier on this year. There's Mike. Kroger Mac and Cheese Ford GT500 on Bishop Family Racing. Jessica Shelton's going to make it into the final round of qualifying. Last week she started on the front row with Laura Chung. I mean, Shelton, it's kind of night and day qualifying to race finishes. Average finishing position of 30th, but average starting position of 16th. So they bring fast race cars to the track and qualify well. Just have not been able to catch the break to get the points via the good finish. the S3 Motorsports cars will be fun to watch tomorrow, as they're apparently working together here in this session. 3 of the 4 that are here in this one. Cole Deaver was in Group A, didn't have any teammates in his group of round 1. Looks like S3 Motorsports formulating some plans here. We saw Sanford and Matthews working together, or Sanford and Shelton working together. We'll see if they can find each other tomorrow, as we should be closing in here at the end. There they are. There it is. Red flag in the air. Session complete. And Daniel Voiles, top of the board in the number 26 with a 53.280. That is more than a tenth slower than what James Qualls turned in Group A. As a matter of fact, if we went back and put Voiles in Group A, that 280 would only barely net him 4th place, 2,000ths over Jesse Turner. So that would have barely gotten him into the Fast 5 in Group A. Kyler Sustre and Mike Tellier, though, by virtue of qualifying in the top 5 here in Group B, they are going to be locked into the show as the 2 go-homers, which means that Matthew Rodriguez and Trey Wright, they will fail to make the start tomorrow. Zach Rogers and Jessica Shelton going to be the last 2 to transfer in, which means Jose Mills will start on the outside of row 6. And everybody on down, with the exception of the 82, who was 9th on the board, had a good qualifying lap, just not enough for Trey Wright. Those other drivers will subsequently line up on the outside of their respective rows. All right, so our Fast 5 from Group A, our Fast 5 from Group B are ready to run for the pole position. 2 former pole sitters, 8 drivers looking for their first pole of Season 7. Who's going to get it? We'll find out in just a moment. We'll be right back here to the continuation and the conclusion of qualifying from Coke Zero Super Speedway right after this. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed your watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. Final round of qualifying underway. Our Fast 10 accumulated from the Fast 5 of the 2 respective groups from round 1, heading out for 5 minutes to see who's going to get the pole position. Jessica Shelton's already out in the 94, started on the outside of the front row last week at Texas. 2 drivers looking to be the first repeat pole sitter on the season, that being Casey Hoyt and Laura Chung. Laura Chung looking to be the first back-to-back pole sitter on the season. She had the inside of the front row last week at Texas. Walls, Turner, Lamas, Voiles, Sustre, Tellier, Rogers, and Shelton all looking for their first pole of Season 7. Apologies for the first round of qualifying. You guys did not see the timer. Had the wrong graphic up. You didn't know how much time was left in the session. We have it corrected here for the final round of qualifying. Shelton is now on the clock. See if anybody's come out together. Looks like Mike Teller, Cody Lamas might be coming out together. Qualls is by himself. Sustre is by himself. Hoyt's by himself. You need a drafting partner. Maybe the 84 and the 17 will work together to get the front row with each other. Cody Lamas, his average starting position this season so far is right around his average finishing position, around 20th. So what Shelton's hoping here is that maybe some of these cars coming off pit road, she can get a tow off of them to be able to help her with her draft lap, as she's going to cross the line 57.869 for her first lap. Who is that still sitting on pit road? Daniel Voiles with, well, now leaving pit road. He's going to have about 2.5 minutes here, as Cody Lamas is in a very good spot right now. Gonna get a nice toe off the 17 of Mike Tellier down the front straightaway. Both drivers on the clock right now. Shelton the only one that has clocked in a lap time. Now the question is, what kind of a run is Mike Tellier going to get here? They might be able to merge with the 26 of Voiles. This might be a 3-car pack here, and might be where your pole sitter and subsequent front row is housed. I think Tellier might go top of the board here with the run he's getting on the 84. But that 26 of Daniel Voiles, I think, might have something to say about all this before it's all over. We'll see. Mike Tellier can step out of line here on Cody Lamas. Let's see if the 84 or the 17, who's the fastest of these two. Ticker says Lamas, 56.115. Tellier, 56.582. About 4/10 difference for the 84, but Daniel Voiles, I think he might have something for the pole. Nobody else is really together. You got James Qualls. He got a bit of a run there with Kyler Sustre. They might be able to do something, but I don't know if they'll have enough time. This is the group right here. And I believe that is the car that is going to start on the pole position. Depending on this lap, this has got to be somewhere in the mid-55s, at least maybe in the 54s for Daniel Voiles. Let's see, he picked the perfect time to get out there onto the track. It is a 54.945, and as I expected, top of the board for driver 26. That is about a 10.5 quicker than Cody Lamas, who right now is second, and Tellier currently sits third. Tellier is 3 thousandths off of Cody Lamas for second place. 132 for Cody, 135 for Tellier, both at the 55-second mark. James Qualls and Kyler Sustre, they can only settle out for a 4th position right now. They don't have enough numbers to be able to counter this group now. Tellier backed off a little bit there trying to get a run. Could Tellier maybe get enough of a draft here and enough of a push to jump to the top of the board? 54.755, but that's only third. 54.697 for Voiles, even better, and Lamas bettered his lap, 54.729. Zeros on the clock. I don't know if they got there in time that they can make another circuit or not. We'll see. Right now, Daniel Voiles, Cody Lamas would be the front row for tomorrow's race here from Coke Zero Super Speedway. Reminder, tonight, later on, today I should say, Pepsi Superdome, where the Duracell Ultra Light Series drivers will be at. It's the Soda Wars weekend with Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Let's see, do they score these drivers here? Oh man, if they'd had another lap, Cody Lamas might have had a shot for the pole with that toe off the 6 of Zach Rogers. Do they score them? They do not. They had already taken the red flag. The scoring has stopped, and Daniel Voiles, who was the fastest in Group B, will be the fastest here in the Fast 10. And subsequently, he will be your pole sitter for tomorrow's race. We go 10 for 10. In different pole sitters on the season. As it'll be Daniel Voiles and Cody Lamas. I believe those two are going to be starting on the front row for the first time this season. Mike Tellier, who locked himself into the race on speed, he will start third. So that is an average starting position of 3.5 for Mike Tellier in his 2 starts so far this year. Daytona and now here at Coke Zero Super Speedway. Kyler Sustre, who locked himself in as well on speed, he will start 4th. James Qualls, who was the fastest in round 1, will be 5th. Then Zach Rogers, Jessica Shelton, Casey Hoyt, Laura Chung, Jesse Turner will be the completion of the top 10 for tomorrow's starting lineup. So that's going to do it here from Coke Zero Super Speedway. The grid is set 42 drivers locked in. The 2 drivers that will be going home, Matthew Rodriguez and Trey Wright, and it'll be Daniel Voiles leading us to the green tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But be sure to join us later on this afternoon as we continue on the Duracell Ultra Light Series driver schedule from the Pepsi Superdome. Should be a good one. And then tomorrow it's the Cup race here at Coke Zero SS for the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series drivers. But until those events, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this qualifying session, be sure to give this a like, subscribe to Part Crew today, and we will see you guys later on this afternoon or tomorrow, whichever the case may be, as you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, offline racing at its best.